So good morning, welcome. We're going to do a band workout this morning. And the two primary bands that we're going to be using, I noticed that some people have variations, but we'll either use one with handles, or we'll use one that's a looping band, or we will use one that's a therapy type band that you get from a physical therapist. So mine's a little bit thicker, but the bands that you have are just fine. So those are the three bands that we're going to be using this morning. And let's get started with a warm-up. So we'll start with a kick across. For those who are able to stand, let's start warming up and stretching out through those hips. Belly button pulled to spine, shoulders back, nice and tall. Yes, Jack. So yeah, I want you to just kick across. If all you can do is sit, just do a little kick across here to start warming up through those legs a little bit. Good. If you want to do a heel tap, that'll stretch through your TFL. If that's too much on the balance, totally fine. You can do a TFL stretch seated just like this with a reach over. All right, so keep going there. 3, 2, 1, quad stretch. So pulling those heels to your hips. Again, keeping that back nice and tall, belly button pulled to spine. Good, good, good. Here's 5, 4, 3. We're just trying to do a dynamic stretch here really fast. Kicking it out, stretching through those hamstrings, doing the can-can. A for the can-can. So if you're seated, just doing a kick out here, lifting that leg as high as you can so that you can get a nice stretch in the back of the leg. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to punch across, stretching through that upper back. Nice stretch through those shoulder blades. If you're seated, you can usually just do that punch across there. Good job. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stepping behind and reaching over the top. Step behind, reach over the top. You should feel a nice stretch down your side. If you're seated, just reaching over. You don't need to do anything with your legs. Just a reach over there. You should feel a nice stretch through those obliques. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Back to center. If you can, feet shoulder width apart. If you can, we're going to do a little lower back stretch and hip flexors. Lower back stretch, hamstring stretch. If that is too much, go ahead and sit and then just reach forward and come up and reach forward and come up, because I don't want to cause any lower back pain for anybody. Good. Good, 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 good. 3,
ibuprofen's working.
2, and 1. Okay, next, wide stance, inner thigh stretch. So you're going to sit like you're sitting back in a chair to get a nice little inner thigh stretch. Your knee should never go past your toe. Knee should never go past your toe. So for those who are seated, you're just going to put a leg out, lean forward for a couple of seconds, and then switch sides. Put that other leg out and lean forward for a couple of seconds. So you get a nice stretch in those inner thighs. Good. There's 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Let's warm up through those shoulders. Backstroke. If you were in a pool, hopefully your heart rate's starting to come up now just a little bit. Other direction. Not super high heart rate, but enough that you feel like your body is actually doing something. Good. Okay. So now to warm just a little bit more, I'm going to start working through some basic movements here. I'm going to go from a seat to like a squat to an overhead. So a sit down, stand up. If you don't want to do the sit down, you can do a squat and come up on those toes. Squat, come up on those toes. So if you are not able to stand, touch your toes and then reach up as high as you can. Touch your toes, reach up as high as you can. Good. We'll do another 5. Perfect. 4, if you can come up on those toes, that'll help you work your balance. 2 more. Good. Last one. Awesome. Okay, low impact jumping jack. Here we go. just to finish that heart rate coming up. If you want to do a full-on jumping jack, you can. I'll leave it up to you. I'll really leave it up to you. 10, 9, 8, 7. All right. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Anybody need a drink of water yet? Go ahead and grab one really fast if you need. And we're going to start working with some legs. So since most of you have a therapy band or a band with handles, I'll show you that. I'll utilize that. So what we're going to do is start with, you'll stand on it, feet shoulder width apart. If you can, bring that band high enough that it on the back of your arm. So your hands will be up to your shoulders, the band out at the sides. You're just going to do an assisted squat. So you'll be sitting down, standing up. If you want to you sit on a chair and stand back up, that's totally fine. Perfect. Keep those elbows back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. If this resistance is too much, then drop to just 1 foot on the band and do the same squat. You'll just have to do the same amount on the other leg because the resistance is coming from the band being on that foot. If you're seated, you can do, you'll have to do a cross, like tie your therapy band together. And you'll pull and do an extension right here. So it's kind of like what you're doing at the gym with a leg extension. So this is if you're seated. You'll want to put both feet through that band. Good job, guys. We're shooting for about 20 here if you're counting, 20 to 25, depending on how your legs are feeling. If your lower back hurts or if your legs are tight, please stop. So that's what it would look like if you were doing a seated leg extension. You guys getting that? Should be feeling some quads working, maybe some glutes. And those who switched, yeah, good. I saw, if you need to switch, you're doing a single leg, go ahead and switch. You want to do the same amount each side. Good job. But what we're looking for is about 20 to 25 squats here. So either 20 on this leg and 20 on this leg, or 20 double, or 20 extensions. That's about what we're looking for. Awesome. We're close. Good, good, good. Next, we're going to do, take a break, because I don't want to run out of time. Was everybody able to finish their 20 squats? Hopefully. Okay, we're going to work some chest. So, therapy band goes around your back. The closer you grab to your shoulders, the more challenge you're going to work through your chest, meaning the more tension will be on the band. So if you're grabbing way out here on the band, you're not going to feel very much. But if you grab close, then you can really work through that band. If you have a band with handles, just don't use the handles. Grab closer to the shoulder, because what you're going to do is mimic a chest press. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do 20 of these, and I'll switch halfway through for a different exercise to give you a little variation. Here's 3, 4. You should be feeling some chest, maybe some tricep, back of the arm too. 5. I think maybe I'm really bad at counting and talking. 9, good. 10. You can keep going with this, or I'll show you one variation. So you want to bring this underneath your armpits, and you can do a fly. So it's a chest fly instead of a chest press. So this is going to work a different part of your pectoralis muscle. Good, keeping those scapulas flat on your back, those shoulder blades should be flat so that you engage the right muscles. Here's 5, 4, your shoulders might be getting tired. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Okay, heart rate, is your heart rate up? Yeah? Anybody? Thumbs up? Thumbs up if you have a heart rate that's up. Need a drink of water? You doing okay? All right, going back to some legs again. So, doesn't matter if you have the band with the handles or if you have a therapy band. Standing on that band, if you can bring those handles up by your shoulders or the band by your shoulders, elbows tucked back, gaps flat, belly button. We're gonna hinge at the slight bend in the knee, keep that back nice and straight, and then come up. Hinge at the hip and come back up. You should start feeling a nice stretch in the back of that leg. Good. If you're seated, in order to work this muscle properly, it's much like what we did the last workout. You'll loop that band around your feet and then keep your right leg stationary, pull your left toward the chair. So you'll do 10 or to 20 one leg, and then switch and do 10 to 20 on the other leg. So you're gonna loop that band. If I'm sitting in a chair, loop it around your ankles, hold it out here, and do a hamstring curl. You should feel the back of that leg working. Good. Those who are standing should be getting close to 20, hopefully. And you should not have any lower back pain when you're doing this. Your back should be flat like a board. So if you're rounding like this, your lower back's gonna hurt. So pull those shoulder blades back a lot. They should be touching. Those shoulder blades should be touching. 3, 2, and 1. So those who were seated, did you feel the back of your leg working? Thumbs up. Yeah? Okay, good. Perfect. Is everybody's lower back doing okay? Thumbs up if it is. Thumbs down if it's not. Okay, good. Everybody's lower back is good. Awesome. Going back to some upper back. Doesn't matter if you have, what kind of band you have, what we're gonna do. Grabbing the band closer. You're gonna take head. This is a lat pull down, like you do at a gym with a bar, except you're doing it with a band. So belly button pulled to spine. You should have your hips in a nice straight line. The tendency for people is to stick that butt out. Tuck those hips in, tuck those glutes in. All you're gonna do is pull down to your chest. Pull apart and pull down. Pull apart and pull down. This is going to work these muscles right here, those lats, that big part of your back. Perfect. Pull apart and down. If you're not feeling anything in those muscles working, grab closer together and add more tension to that band. Perfect. Good job. All right. Here's 10, 9, bringing those into your sides, 8, squeezing bottom, squeezing those shoulder blades here when you're down at the bottom. 5, 4, you might be feeling it in your biceps and some shoulders. 3, that's okay. 2, and 1. Good. Woo, do we need to shake that out? Oh yeah, so good. I gotta get some water. I don't know about you guys. All right. So we're going through these fast. We're gonna go through all this one more time so you have it nice and solid, all right? We're going back to some lower body again. Hey, lower body, so glad. We're gonna do some sumo squats. This works the inner thighs. So what you're gonna do, wide stance on that band. If it's too much tension and you need to just go to one one band, totally fine. Again, bring that band up by your shoulders. If you want to do two, you can. It's just really hard on some bands. Toes pointing at a 45-degree angle. Your knees have to follow your toes. If your knees aren't following your toes, then it's going to cause knee pain. So back nice and tall. I'm just going to squat and back up. This is going to work those inner thighs. Squeeze the glutes at the top. For those who are seated, this is good. It's a challenge because the tension needs to come from the inside to the, yeah, I really don't know. I haven't figured this one out yet because all it works is the outer glutes. So if you want to just do, there's really no strength training. I know. Sorry, Jack. I don't know what to do for your inner thighs here. Okay, good. So keep going with that band. Good job. At least probably 5 more. What do you think, guys? I don't know how far you are. At least 20 here. So you should be feeling your inner thighs. Your knees should not be going past your toes. So you don't want to be going this way. You want to be sitting back like in the chair. 0 knee pain. 2 and 1. Perfect. From where you are, keep that band on your feet. We're going to go to some more upper body again. Double feet if you want. We're going to do some bicep curls. This feels a little easier if you have handles, but if you don't, that's okay. Just wrap that therapy band around your hands once. And all you're going to do is curl those hands to your shoulders, okay? So the goal is to keep that elbow in line with your shoulder. You don't want to close up this way because then you're working the wrong muscle. You can do this, just stand on the seated, put your feet on that band, and just do some curls here. Good. Perfect. Awesome. Here's 5, 4. Hopefully your biceps are working. If you're not feeling anything, it's not tough enough, you can always double your band on the bottom and add more resistance. But that's probably about 20 right there. I need an official counter in the group, so I'm not working you guys too hard or too little. We're going to work the opposing muscle group now. So your tricep, you'll just need one handle. Standing on one side of it or one end of it, dropping the other handle or other end, wrapping that hand if you need to make sure you have a good grip. Back nice and tall. Bring that elbow up by your forehead. I'm going to scoot down here so you guys can see a little bit better. Elbow up by your forehead. And all you're going to do is extend your arm straight overhead. So you're working that back part of your arm. If you're sitting, then you can just sit on it, sit on your band and do the same thing. Just taking that band, the hand straight overhead. Please keep your elbow right by your eyeball. Your shoulder shouldn't be out here. We got to keep it nice and tight. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Now we get to switch sides. Do you guys feel a good burn in that tricep? Hopefully. Okay, switching sides. Belly button pulled to spine, standing nice and tall. Here we go. Good. Again, keep that elbow by your eyeball. Because if that elbow starts going way out here, you're going to affect your rotator cuff. And that's not okay. Good job. If you need to keep that elbow, like put your other hand here as a little guide, just to make sure you stay in alignment, go for it. Here's 10, 9, 8. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. Are those arms falling off yet? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Woo! Yeah. You're going to have triceps of steel. That's what I'm talking about. Next, You guys, I don't know if you realize, but we've almost worked every major muscle group in the body. And we've barely been going 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
No wonder I'm so tired.
So high five to you. Right, Jack? So we're going to work some glutes if you're able. I want you to get down on the floor and you're going to make that, we're going to do a bridge, but you're going to make the band nice and tight on your knee, around the top of your knees. You're going to hold a bridge and then take those knees out and in, out and in. If you're not able to get on the floor from a seated position, wrapping that band tight around your knees, you're going to go out and in and out and in. So it's that taking the knees out and in, it's going to really work those glutes. Glutes are important. Strong glutes help you have a stronger lower back. So that's why glute strength is very important. All right, so here we go, holding that bridge. You guys are already probably done at least 5. So here's 6, 7, 8, keeping those hips in line with your spine. If you have any lower back pain, please just drop. Shouldn't have lower back pain. 7, 6, keep going. 5, 4, 2, and 1. Anybody have some glute burning happening? Can I have a thumbs up? Great. Our foot's up. I love it. You guys are awesome. Okay, so I'm going to save abs for very last. I'm going through these quickly so we can keep your heart rate up just a little bit. So we're going to go back to the beginning and we're going to do it all again. Sound good? So going back to those quads or the squats, making sure that you guys know what you're doing. Going through this twice. It's always good. It'll be a little bit faster because I won't be explaining as much. All right, ready? Here we go. Here's 1, 2, keeping that belly button pulled to spine, back nice and tall. The goal is to keep your shoulders behind your knees. So you don't want to be bending at your waist. We're squatting down. You can always use a chair as a guide. If you're sore tomorrow and you can't get off the toilet, I'm sorry. Again, those who are seated, you can always do the leg extension. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Go into that upper body. Going back to that chest. Wrapping that band around your hands just a little bit. We're going to do chest flies to begin with. Foot chest flies work better underneath the armpits. So here we go. Fly in those arms. Belly button pulled to spine. Good. Here's 5, and then we'll switch it to press. 4, palms facing each other. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, go into that press. Palms facing the floor. Here we go. Here's 10, 9, 8. Good job. 7, 6. Breathing. Everybody's breathing, right? Pull that belly button in. 2, and 1. Awesome. Going back to those hamstrings. Double foot. Pulling that band over the shoulders. And you're hinging at the hip, keeping that back flat as a board. Belly button pulled to spine. All right, here we go. Here's 1. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. That'll help keep that back flat. 3, 4. If you're seated, wrapping the band around the front of the ankles, keeping the right foot planted, pull the left foot back. Good. For 10, and then switch and pull the right foot back for 10. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You guys are doing good. Should not be any lower back pain. Keep that back nice and flat. 5, probably. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Going back to that upper back. Those lats. Grabbing more narrow. We're going to start above the head, pull apart, and pull down. Good. Starting above the head, pull apart, pull down. Here's 10. Whoa, sorry. 2, 3. Squeeze those glutes. 4, 5. Awesome. 6. Eight. Are we getting tired? How are our arms? Are they going to fall off? Can you do another 10? If you want to try and take it to the back, you can. It works a little differently. I just want you to be very aware of your rotator cuff, because when you take anything behind your head, it strains more of that rotator cuff. So I'll leave it up to you. If it feels okay, go ahead. Here's 4, 3. I'm going fast. 2 to really make those muscles work. And 1. Woo, good job. Inner thighs. Feet turned out, 45-degree angle. Heels shoulder width apart. Holding the band up by your shoulders. If you have that much resistance and lengthen the band, you can. Squat and up. Working some inner thighs here. 2. Good. 3. Belly button pulled to spine. Back nice and tall, like you're sitting in a chair.
I'll talk to you later. Just didn't show.
Good. Keep going. You can always use a chair if you need to. 9, 10. Is this too much, guys? Are we doing okay? You guys are hanging. That's good. 12. Almost there. Should be feeling some inner thighs. Knees should be go toes. Almost there. 2 more. 19 and 20. Right? I think I counted right. Okay, you stopped, so that's a good sign. Maybe I did. Whew. Go into some biceps. Single leg. You can do double if you want. A double foot if you want. It's really up to you. I'll leave it up to you and the strength of your band. But here we go. We're gonna do 20. Back nice and tall. Elbows tucked into the side. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and you can change this up. You can do palms facing each other for a hammer curl, or you can do palms facing up for a bicep curl. It works it slightly differently. Good job. Anybody sweating yet? Here, 8, 7, keeping those elbows into your side. You don't want them coming up this way. 5, working that bicep. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Triceps. So you can do double arm if you want. I didn't show you double arm at the beginning, but if you want to do double arm, you totally can. I'll leave it up to you. Most therapy bands, well, I guess it just depends on the strength of your therapy band, but we'll do double this time, just for time's sake. So if your band is super tight and you can't even extend your arm overhead, then please just use 1 foot instead of 2 feet on that band. And you guys can probably see. All right, here we go. My band's tight. There we go. Grabbing with both hands if you need to. Keeping those elbows by your sides. Eyes up. You don't want to be looking at the floor. Belly button pulled to spine. Good job. 8, 9, 10. If you need to do that single, you totally can. It was too tight. Art and Eileen might need to do the single because I know their bands are tight. Keep going. 6, 5, 4. Now my band won't go up anymore. There we go. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Good job. Need some water? I'm working through this pretty fast so we can keep your heart rate up and keep within the time.
Jack, can you put yours on mute?
Okay, next. Going back to those glutes. We're almost done before we go to some abs. So the glutes, the seated position was right here, legs apart, legs together, legs apart, legs together, or on the floor with the bridge. So wrapping that band around the top of the knees. And holding the bridge. So knees, hips, and shoulders in alignment. And then out together with those knees. Out together. Good. Working those glutes. Two different ways here. The bridge holds, works a part of the glute a certain way, and then the knees out together works a different part of the glute.
Jack, can you put yours on mute?
Here's 10, 9, 8. Keep the hips up. Keep them up. Keep them up. 5, and it doesn't have to be a big movement. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, we're gonna do some abs. Everybody ready for some abs? Thumbs up. Everybody ready to go take a nap? Fred is ready for a nap. Okay, so for your abs, there's a couple of different ways. I'm actually going to turn this down here so it's a little bit easier to see. Okay, and on your back. So if you can do this at home, like if you're in a chair right now, you can always do this on your bed later on. Doesn't have to be as part of a workout. But what you're going to do is put one leg, just one foot through that your band around the bottom of one foot, shoulder blades flat against the floor, belly button pulled to spine. Your other leg is bent, and all you're going to do is extend and retract that leg. So as long as you're tightening your core, you're going to work your glute and your lower ab here. So you extend the leg, bend the leg, extend the leg, bend the leg, keeping that lower back flat. That's the key. So you really have to do like a little pelvic tilt, trying to keep that bottom of your tailbone, that very tip of your tailbone off the floor to engage those lower abs, as well as your glutes. So you have to concentrate a lot on this one. Tighten up, pull the belly button to the spine, tighten up the core like somebody's punching you in the stomach. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5. You may not feel a lot of lower ab, but I promise it's working. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Switching legs. Perfect. All right, knee is bent. That other leg is bent. Here we go. We're gonna tighten up that core. Someone's punching in his stomach. Tailbone off the floor. Here we go. Here's 1, 2. Keep that lower back flat. 3. Scaps flat. 4. So you're working a lot of muscles simultaneously. I may have been going a little too fast to keep that those abs tight. It's a lot to think about. Good. You're working some glute, you're working some quad, you're working some ab. Here's 10, 9. Good job. 8, 7. Almost done. Good. 2 more. And relax. All right. So I want to make sure that you get some quad. You don't have, abs doesn't have to always be with band. So let's work on that. Your lower abs is what's going to help support your lower back. So if you have lower back pain, it helps to build that lower ab strength. So what we're going to do, pelvic tilt, belly button pulled into spine, hold that there for 30 seconds. Pretend someone's punching you in the gut. So if you are seated, you can kind of do this. All I want you to do is pull your shoulder blades back. Pretend, sorry, that you can't see anything. Pretend, so shoulder blades back, pretend that someone is punching you in the gut. So you're like really bracing your core. And just hold that there. Really tight, like really pull that stomach in. Almost done. And here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That was 30 seconds for those who are on the floor. So those who are seated, you maybe got like 10 seconds. But you can do that all day, a couple, 3 times a day from a seated position, and that'll really help strengthen your core. Next, you're going to go back to that pelvic tilt, belly button pulled into the spine, lower back flat on the floor. And now all I want you to do, if you can, if this hurts your lower back, then I'll show you a modification. But what I want you to do is double leg up and down. So that lower back should never come off the floor. If you can do a toe tap, great. Heel tap, great. Doesn't matter. If that hurts your lower back and you can't keep your lower back on the floor, then all I want you to do is an alternating heel tap. Good. Those knees should stay right over your hips. You don't want your legs, your knees away from your hips. So keep that knee right above the hip as you're doing that. Either double heel tap or single. If you're seated, leaning back, and you're going to lift and lower, alternating legs. So leaning back will engage your abs. If you need to hold on to the arms of your chair to help brace your back, that's totally fine. But you should feel some lower abs working there. Perfect. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Okay, hopefully your hip flexors were okay with that one. It's okay if you need to take a break in those, and if, because 30 may have been, I think we did about 30, so 30 may have been a lot. If you needed to start with 10 to 15, totally fine when you do this next time. Just listen to your body. It should be abs, not legs. If your legs start engaging, your quads, that means your abs stopped working. So stop the exercise, because the goal is to work your abs and not your quads. All right. So let's do some bird dogs. I can show you a very challenging modification to this if you want to use the resistance bands. But if you're new to bird dogs, then please don't use your resistance bands. All right. So bird dogs, hands and knees. You're going to raise your right leg, your left hand, keep your hips square, and all you're going to do is hold that for 30 seconds. If you are in a chair, there's really nothing that I'm aware of besides just the one that you already did, because this works stabilization part of your core. So the only thing is to just do another one of those shoulders over your hips, belly button nice and tight like someone's punching you, and just hold that for as long as you can. That's the same thing as doing a bird dog without being on your hands and knees. So back tall, core tight, and hold it for as long as you can. Okay, almost done. And there's 30. Whoop. Okay, switching sides. Right hand, left foot. 30 seconds. Belly button pulled to your spine. Okay, I promised. Just hold that there. I did promise you that if you wanted to use a resistance band, I would show you how to make this a lot more challenging. So what you would do is hook the resistance band around your foot, and then extend your leg and extend your arm. It's extremely hard to do with most resistance bands. So, but if you want to, you totally can. Here's 3, 2, and 1. There's 30 seconds. Okay. Guys ready to stretch? That's an overwhelming yes, I think. Maybe, I can't hear you, but I'll believe you. So, all right, Bernice is ready. Awesome. Let's stretch just a little bit. From a seated or standing position, let's work those shoulders. Stretch those shoulders out. Next month, so you'll cross your right arm over to your left, and then grab your right arm with your left hand. Next month, we're going to be using resistance bands again, but instead of it being a cardio workout and a strength workout, I'm going to show you how you can utilize the bands to stretch. Feels very good. You'll love it. So keep those bands handy, switching arms if you haven't already. It'll feel really, really good, I promise. It's one of my most favorite things to do is stretch with the bands. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretching out those triceps. Good. Bending that elbow, right elbow, touching your right hand to your back and using your left to help assist if you need to. Good job today, you guys. We went through that very quickly. So hopefully your heart rate stayed up. Other side. Everybody's still moving, so that's a good sign. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's get your upper back in those lats. So you're gonna clasp your hands, round your shoulders, and then twist to the side. So lift your right shoulder up, and it'll get a nice stretch underneath that shoulder blade and into the lat where we worked. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides. Should feel really good. If any stretch hurts, please don't do it. Just back off and don't try to stretch as much, because stretching should feel good. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's get your biceps. So hands out to the sides. You're gonna thumbs up, then rotate to thumbs down. Thumbs up, thumbs down. So you should feel a nice little bicep stretch. There's not a lot of rotation through the shoulder. It should be more coming from the bicep area that you're feeling the stretch. So here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we need to get your chest. So grabbing your hands behind your back and then round your shoulders back. If you want to lift your hands, you can. You don't have to, but it is a nice stretch through those pecs that we worked. Good. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Okay, let's go to some lower body. From a standing position, if you can, we'll do a quad stretch. If you need to hold on to a desk or a chair or something to help with that stability, you can. If you're seated and you can scoot to the edge of your chair and grab your foot or your ankle, you can get a nice stretch here too. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides. Other leg. Standing knee slightly bent so you don't lock it out. Should feel a nice stretch in the front of that thigh. There's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's get your hamstring. So just kicking one leg out, slight bend in the knee, and lean forward. If you're seated, again, kick one leg out, slight bend in the knee, and lean forward. You should be feeling this in your hamstring, not the back of your knee. So really make sure you're not locking that knee out. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Good job. Almost done. And here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we got to get inner thighs because we did work inner thighs. So from a standing position, go wide, lean to one side. If you're seated, just kick a leg out and lean forward. We didn't really work inner thighs from the seated position, so you may not need the stretch, but it always feels good. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Switching to other leg. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we got to stretch your lower back because it did get some work when we were doing our deadlifts for the hamstring movement. So if you can go to a seated position, bend over, and just let your upper body hang. Hopefully you feel a lower back stretch. If your inner thighs are tight, then you might feel some inner thighs, but it should feel good on your lower back. I'm hoping. Here's 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We have one muscle left to stretch, and that's your glute. So what we're going to do is cross right ankle over left knee. If this is all you need to do to feel a nice stretch in your hip, then please stay there. If you do not feel a stretch in your glute, in your hip, then just lean forward. So whatever is comfortable, it should not cause pain. Here's 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Switching sides. You might notice one side is a little tighter than the other. This is always a good stretch to do, no matter what time of day, because our hips get so tight from moving in the same direction all the time. We're always walking. Our legs rarely go out like into the sagittal plane or the transversal plane. So this is always a good stretch to do. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you guys did it. High five. You survived. Awesome job.